am fascinated with this indomitable human spirit that we have within us, that spirit that allowed Beethoven to compose this violin concerto, even though he was deaf. That spirit that allows us to sort of rise up and conquer the adversities that we face every day. People tell me there are no words for my pain, or there are no words for my grief. And so I feel we have to use something that is stronger than words. And as Hans Christian Andersen said, where words fail, music speaks. Beethoven in the Face of Adversity is an epic effort to turn suffering into joy, with 50 concerts of the Beethoven Violin Concerto in 250 days. These concerts are a gift that I've made to the world for my 50th birthday in honor of Beethoven's 250th birthday. This project was born out of my own adversity. I was in the midst of a divorce. I had to sell a house, look for another place, and help my 2 teenagers through all of this as well. It was all I could do, really, just to get through one day at a time. And there was really no room in my life, nor time to spend 5 hours a day for a year preparing to play the Beethoven Concerto. And in that moment of grief, Beethoven, I feel, came to me and said, listen, if I managed to write this when I was deaf, isolated, depressed, you can probably figure out how to play this. I felt that if Beethoven was able to help me overcome my adversity, perhaps it might be able to lighten the load for someone else as well.
Nilitoka Kongo, nilikuwa mkimbizi, nikaenda Burundi, kufika Burundi ndio nikakuja hapa Amerika. Mabadiliko ni kusema kama juu Afrika, nilikuwa napenda kucheza kabumbu, lakini sikuwa nafasi ya kwenda kucheza kabumbu sababu kula Afrika maisha tu magumu tu, lakini hapa nikapata timu moja nacheza emo, ndio nikaona maisha yangu kwa vizuri na shule vizuri sana. Nilisikia vizuri juu mimi nikisikia kama vile nasikia kama usingizi unakuja. Nilisikia vizuri kabisa.
My neighbor lost her husband very suddenly, very tragically. At a point which seemed appropriate, I asked her if she would be interested in hearing some beautiful music as part of her healing.
Our friend was going through a lot, and we were trying to suffer with her. This musical performance was really taking us to a place I hadn't been before. Somehow having it 3 feet away and in our own home with our friend was a very moving experience. It's one we'll never forget.
During the second movement, our neighbor found a beautiful picture of her husband. And she said, I would like him to be with us. And she set it beside her on the couch. And it just kind of rose above all the experiences that we have ever had in music before.
The concerto has a wonderful purity. Every measure is gorgeous. There's a wonderful sense of arrival after a long struggle. This is one of the most magnificent compositions ever written.
And this is a concerto that we as musicians hold as sort of the crowning jewel of the violin repertoire.
It sounds effortless when you hear it by great masters, but it is not. It takes a lot of preparation, a lot of work.
Well, I'm here with my 95-year-old mother, and so it was a real treat for me to see Monique and her son do this performance together. The other thing that I took away from this performance was an appreciation for Beethoven as a warrior. That word was used to describe my mother, who decided to have a knee replacement at age 95. And it was a verve for life and a real desire to be productive and contribute and be part of her community. And that's what I heard as I was listening to this Beethoven piece.
Well, of course, we all know Beethoven, and to hear it played as well as it was tonight was a real treat. It's just lucky that we have the opportunity to hear music like this.
It feels so good to have someone say how much it helped with their pain or kind of melted their heart. That's something I really enjoy seeing in people.
At times I play in 100-degree heat with no air conditioning where I can barely shift on the violin. And then sometimes there are pianos or keyboards that are so completely out of tune that it's very difficult to sort of find my center. In these places, the audience is really near me, and I acknowledge their pain, Beethoven's adversities, my own adversities, and we own all of that and then point to this music that allows us to rise above all of that.